Hello, all my friends, hello. Hello, all my friends, hello. I'm feeling real silly, so let's start the show. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Be-do-bo, 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 be-do-bo. Ba-da-bow, be-da-boo, be-da-bow, boo, be-da-bow. Da-da, be-do-boop-boop. That's me being a good singer. Hey, everybody, welcome to Tazzy Reads Stuff, a program where me, Tazzy, reads stuff. Books and such, mostly books. That's it, books and such. And I read comments. Justin Candy, how are you doing? It says you're good. Good evening to Rob Somerville, and good evening to my neighbors, Albert, Barb, and Yasminka. Miss Christie's here. Say hi, Miss Christie. They don't believe you're really here. There, she's here. I was going to cover my mouth with your hand by accident. I was confused for a second. Now I'm going to have to clean my shirt. Justin is saying, hi, Miss Christie. Thank you for playing bingo with us. Yeah, it was great playing bingo with you, Justin. I love you, buddy. And it's awesome that you call the numbers. Well, we're at our house and you're at your house. And I was only 9 numbers away from winning the jackpot today. So that's not bad. Last week I was only 2 numbers away. Yeah. Hey, let's find out. Hey, Surrey, how long ago was March 18th, 2020? Oh, what's going on here? Oh, I forgot to press the right button. Hey, Surrey, how far away? Hey, Surrey, how many days ago was March 18th, 2020?
It was 430 days ago.
430 days, everybody. Turn this off. I got something in my throat. 430 days ago, I started reading to y'all. And I was thinking about the pandemic, and they were saying, find the silver lining. Well, the silver lining was today I had a podcast interview with a young lad named Josh, and not our Josh, a different Josh. And he said, well, was there any silver linings to the pandemic? And I said, yes, it was. It really, the pandemic and having to move to a different house is my, you know what it taught me? It taught me the things that were most valuable. My family and getting to meet new friends, because if we didn't move back here, we would have met our awesome neighbors. And also Barb and Albert and Yasminka. No, they're the awesome neighbors that we have. And I wouldn't have realized what was important to me. And before I was, so tied up with material things and things like that. Yeah, there you go. And I wouldn't have rediscovered my love of being a children's entertainer and comic books. So there you go. That's awesome. It's awesome.
I have a material thing.
What's that? Oh, guess what? Okay, Miss Christie has been working on something. She made me a hanky, so I could blow my. No, this is cross stitching.
Correct.
Because and then she makes 1 stitch every time I ask for a puppy. And
yeah, that seems about right.
So she's got dancing flowers at the bottom, the trees, and this is not one that was. This one is not one that was that you could buy in a store. Miss Christie pulled this out of her head and her fingers. So there you go.
Correct.
That's awesome.
But they will be able to buy it if they want to.
Yeah, they can buy it because Miss Christie.
Not this.
No, Miss Christie is.
Pattern.
You made the pattern, so that's it. So there you go.
That's what I was working
that's
on today.
That's the prairie. Prairie. What's your? I know it's Prairie Girl Stitching.
No, yeah. My Etsy store is named Sarcy Girl Designs.
Miss Christie's, what's it called?
Sarcy Girl Designs.
No, what did you say? Was it Instagram store?
Etsy store.
Her Etsy store is unpronounceable and unwritable, so I can't say. It's called Sarcy Girl Designs because she doesn't take my advice to have something that people could spell. That's all. SARCY GIRL. GURL. Yeah, because that's how it spells saucy girl.
Sarcy Girl.
Sarcy. Did I say saucy?
Yeah.
Sarcy Girl. There you go. Oh my goodness. And welcome, Jen and the kids are here as well. Nice stitching, Miss Christie. Yeah, she does really great stuff, and she made me socks. Oh, not these socks. Converse made these socks, and I'm not allowed to wear them because I'm not an athlete. Let's read some books. We'll read a long book and then a short book. How's that? Pardon me, I'm gonna have to get another drink there. That water's been down here a while. This one's called A Bad Case of the Stripes, and it's by David Shannon. David Shannon. Ooh. Bad Case of the Stripes. This book was written... What year do you think this book was written, Miss Christie? Quick. What year?
2001.
Oh, Miss Christie, you're so far off. It was 2001. 1998, actually. I'm going to need my glasses for this one. So, I have dyslexia, and it's an odd type of dyslexia where I don't mean it's odd. Dyslexia, for those of you that don't know, that means that sometimes the words that come into my eyes don't always get into my brain properly, and by the time they come out of my mouth, it's very confused. So, and then I got these glasses that are a little bit too small for my head. Camilla Cream loved lima beans, but she never ate them. All of her friends hated lima beans, and she wanted to fit in. Camilla was always worried about what other people thought of her. Today, she was fretting even more than usual. It was the first day of school, and she couldn't decide what to wear. There's so many people to impress. She tried on 42 outfits, but none of them seemed quite right. And she put on a pretty red dress and looked in the mirror, and then she screamed.
That's a lot of outfits.
If you got 42 outfits, I would have 42 outfits. Her mother ran into the room, and she screamed too. "Oh, my heavens," she cried. "You're completely covered in stripes." And it was certainly true. Camilla was striped from head to toe. She looked like a rainbow. Mrs. Cream felt Camilla's forehead. "Do you feel all right?" she said. "I feel fine," Camilla answered. "But look at me." "Go back into bed this instant," the mother ordered. "You're not going to school today." Camilla was relieved. She didn't want to miss the first day of school, but she was afraid the other kids would say, and she had no idea what to wear with crazy stripes.
I think you could probably get away with wearing pretty much anything with crazy stripes.
Well, you don't have to wear anything when you got stripes. Zebras don't.
Well, I would still recommend wearing something to keep you protected from the elements.
Sweetie, zebras and elephants are friends. They don't have to be protected from elephants.
I said elements, not elephants.
Then you should probably wear something, because what if potassium or lithium or something comes after you?
Correct.
Those are elements. Boo! That was an element of surprise. That afternoon, Dr. Bumble came to examine Camilla. "Most extraordinary," he exclaimed. "I've never seen anything like it. Are you having any coughing or sneezing or runny nose, aches, pains, chills, hot flashes, dizziness, drowsiness, short of breath, or uncontrollable twitching?" No," said Camilla. "I feel fine." "Well then," Dr. Bramble said, turning Miss Cream, "I don't see any reason why she can't go to school tomorrow. Here's some ointment that you should help clear up those stripes in a few days, and if it doesn't, you know where to reach me." And off he went.
Oh man, COVID would have been so much easier if people would have turned colorful stripes when they got it.
Yeah, colorful stripes.
Know exactly who to
that
avoid.
fella there's got it right there. That's it.
Just huck tissues at them from across the room.
No, you get them
keep your distance.
You get them some soup and let them have some sleeps and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's
but
it.
Keep your distance.
Yeah, keep your distance.
It'd be easy to know.
That's right.
Gotta stay away from that person.
The next day was a disaster. Everybody at school laughed at Camilla. They called her Camilla Crayon and Night of the Living Lollipop. She tried her best to act as if everything was normal, but then the class said the Pledge of Allegiance, her stripe turned to red, white, and blue, and she broke out into stars.
Well, that's fancy.
That's very patriotic for the United States.
Yes.
Here, she would have broken down to make beliefs.
Possibly.
I like making believe. Make beliefs. The other kids thought this was great. One yelled out, "Let's see some purple polka dots." Sure enough, Camilla turned all purple polka dotty. Someone else shouted, "Checkerboard!" And the pattern of squares covered her skin. Soon everybody was calling out different shapes and colors, and poor Camilla was changing faster than you change channels on a TV.
It could come in handy.
No kidding.
You'd be very festive all the time.
Oh, that's it. And by the way, worst chameleon ever. That night, Mr. Harms, the school principal, called. "I'm sorry, Miss Cream," he said. "I'm going to have to ask you to keep Camilla home from school. She's too much of a distraction. And I've been getting calls from the other parents, and they're afraid them stripes might be contagious." Camilla was so embarrassed. She couldn't believe that 2 days ago everybody pardon me, 2 days ago everybody liked her. Now nobody wanted to be in the same room with her. Her father tried to make her feel better. "Oh, is there anything I can get you, sweetheart?" he asked. "No, thank you," sighed Camilla. What she really wanted was a nice plate of lima beans, but she'd been laughed at enough for one day. I don't think lima beans would be very delicious because they'd be all hairy and stuff, right? Well, those are lima beans. Never mind. I'm thinking of some completely different. Where are we? Yes, I see, Dr. Bramble mumbled when Miss Cream phoned the next day. "I think I better bring the specialist to come right over." About an hour later, Mr. Bramble arrived with 4 people in long white coats. He introduced them to the Creams. "This is Dr. Grop, Dr. Sponge, Dr. Cricket, and Dr. Young." When the specialists went to work on Camilla, they squeezed and jabbed and tabbed and tested and tapped, and that was all very uncomfortable. "Well, it's not the mumps," concluded Dr. Grop. "Well, the measles," said Dr. Sponge. "Definitely not the chicken pox," put in Dr. Cricket, who sounded an awful lot like Dr. Crop because the narrator only has so many voices. "Or sunburn," said Dr. Young in a voice that he hadn't thought of before. "Try these," said the specialist, and each handed her a bottle filled with different colored pills. "Take one before bed," and they all filed out the door, followed by Dr. Bumble. Dr. Brumble is Dr. Bumble's neighbor, so I get them mixed up because they look the same.
He's testing her foot with a feather.
Yeah, that's how you do it. It's to test reflexes. Have you ever seen that? They do that sometimes with the edge of the pen, too, to see if you've hurt your foot. They go like that, and then they do it. I'm not even joking about that, because when I hurt my leg really bad, they're like, "Let me test your foot." And I'm like, "That's ticklish." They said, "That's good." That night, Camilla took her medicine. It was awful. When she woke up the next morning, she did feel different. But when she got dressed, her clothes didn't quite fit right. And she looked in the mirror. There, staring back at her, was a giant, multicolor pill with her face on it.
Oh, boy.
No, that's a girl. That's still Camilla. If she drove, she'd get pulled over by the police.
I don't think she's old enough to drive.
No, that's why she would get pulled over by the police. Oh, some people call them caps instead of, caps and robbers, because it's a lid for a... Okay, I went too far. Dr. Bramble rushed over as soon as Mrs. Cream called. But this time, instead of specialists, he brought experts. Dr. Gord and Dr. Mellon were the finest scientific minds in the land. Once again, Camilla was poked and prodded and looked at and listened to. The experts wrote down lots of numbers. Then they huddled together and whispered. Finally, Dr. Gord spoke. "Might be a virus," he announced with authority. Suddenly, fuzzy little virus balls appeared all over Camilla. "Or possibly some form of bacteria," said Mr. Mellon, and out popped squiggly little bacteria tails. "Well, it might be a fungus," added Dr. Gord, instantly Camilla was covered with little, tiny, different colored fungus blotches. That was a very hard thing for me to read. The experts looked at Camilla and then at each other. We need to go over those numbers again and check the lab, they explained. We'll call you when we know something. But the experts didn't have a clue, much less a cure. Now, by then the TV news had found out about Camilla. Reporters were on every channel outside her house telling the story of bizarre case of incredible changing kid. Soon a huge crowd was camped out on their front lawn.
That is a big crowd.
It is a huge crowd. Well, I mean, if there was only 2 people, it wouldn't be a crowd, then it'd be a duo. The creams were swamped with all kinds of remedies from psychologists, allergists, herbalists, and nutritionists, psychics, an old medicine man, a guru, and even a veterinarian. Each so-called cure only added to poor Camilla's strange appearance until it was hard to even recognize her. She sprouted roots and berries and crystals and feathers and a long free tail, but nothing worked.
I could deal with the stripes. I'm not sure if all of this other stuff would be very easy.
The long free tail would mess up your pants for sure.
Yeah.
One day, a woman who called herself an environmental therapist claimed that she could cure Camilla. Close your eyes, she said. Breathe deeply and become one with your room. I wish you hadn't said that, Camilla groaned. Slowly, she started to melt into the walls of her room. Her bed became her mouth, her nose was a dresser, and the 2 paintings were her eyes. The therapist screamed and ran out of the house. What are we going to do? Said Mrs. Cream. I just keeps getting worse and worse, and she began to sob.
Oh, she looks very sad.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. At that moment, Mrs. Cream heard a quiet little knock at the front door. She opened it, and there stood an old woman, who was just as plump and sweet as a strawberry. Excuse me, she said brightly, but I think I can help.
Yay, it's worth a try, for sure.
Well, the wise folks, right? She went into Camilla's room and looked around. My goodness, she said with a shake of her hand. What have they done in the bad case of stripes is what we have here. One of the worst I've ever seen. She pulled out a container of small green beans from her bag. Here, she said. These might do the trick. Are those magic beans? Said Mrs. Cream. Oh, my, no, replied the kind old lady. There's no such thing. They're just plain old lima beans. I bet you have some. We'd like them, wouldn't you? She asked Camilla. Camilla wanted a big, heaping plateful of lima beans, more than just about anything, but she was afraid to admit it. Yuck, she said. Nobody likes lima beans, especially me. Oh, dear, said the woman quite sadly. I guess I was wrong about you. She put the beans back into her bag and started towards the door. Camilla watched the old woman walk away. Those beans would taste so good, and being laughed at for eating them was nothing compared to what she'd been going through. Finally, she couldn't stand it. She said, Wait! The truth is, I really love lima beans. Oh, I thought so, said the old lady with a smile. She took a handful of beans and popped them into Camilla's mouth. Said Camilla.
How she was carrying them in her purse. Like, did she have a big baggie of them in
she
there?
said that. Didn't she say she had a bag of them or something? Yeah, well, she took a container or something. That's right. Suddenly, the branches and feathers and squiggly tails began to disappear. The whole room swirled around, but when it stopped, there stood Camilla, and everything was back to normal. I'm cured, she shouted. Oh, yes, said the old woman. I knew the real you was in there somewhere. And she patted Camilla on the head and went outside and vanished into the crowd. Afterward, Camilla wasn't quite the same. Some of the kids at school said she was weird, and she didn't care a bit. She ate all the lima beans she wanted, and she never, ever even had a touch of the stripes again. Except for in her hairband, barrette. The end. So, what did that book teach us, Miss Christie? Be yourself. Because if you be yourself, you will not change. You know why she was changing? Because other people were saying different things, weren't they? Other things were, look at my crazy eyebrow. That's this one. That was attention deficit disorder, by the way, everybody. She had the stripes, and then when they started singing Star Spangled Banner, she became Stars of Stripes, and then people said, what about a checkerboard, and what about a polka dotty? And she turned polka dot, and then she turned into the pill, and then she turned into whatever the news reporter said, right? And all the other people, instead of just being herself, which was a little girl that liked lima beans. That's it. Be yourself. Do you know how many times that I have changed for somebody else? Well, Miss Christie makes me change my socks because I wait until they can stand up in the corner by themselves. Then she says, that's too stinky. And I'm like, I don't know, I don't breathe through my nose in my room. But that's different, right? But if you want to change, you change for yourself. You don't have to become anybody else that other people want you to be. Because being yourself is pretty awesome, right? It's awesome. You just have to be you. That's an important thing to be. I'd rather have 100 different people and everybody sort of like something different than everybody liking the same. That wouldn't be very good, would it? I don't think so. Like Miss Christie, right? I'm not like Miss Christie because I love puppies. And Miss Christie thinks puppies are evil and we're not allowed to have them in the house.
That is not true. I mean, we're not allowed to have them in the house right now.
Okay, it's partially
true. But I
true.
do not think that they are evil.
They're mean.
And I do love puppies.
We're getting a puppy, everybody.
That's not what that said. I didn't say that.
I hear what I want to hear, Miss Christie.
I know you hear what you want to hear.
That's right.
And that's you being you.
That's right. Well, we're going to get some female sheep, too. She says we're going to get puppies and ewes and being ewes.
No, we're not getting sheep either.
No sheep?
No. Oh. No puppies, no sheep.
Well, we can make socks out of sheep.
Well, they're wool. You can make socks out of their wool.
Then why don't they shrink when they get wet?
I don't know.
No. There you go. Here's a book. Do we have time to read one more? I think I have a very short book. I'm so excited about the sheep. Okay. They're probably not expensive because they're already very sheep. No bonking with books. Jimmy, how are you, man? Oh, and Annette is here as well. Jen and the kids, I hope you like my silliness. This is called The Daddy Book. And it's written by one of my favorite author and artist, Todd Parr. Very simple, very simple books. Yep, more stripes. Pajamas. The Daddy Book. I'm looking for the mommy book. I have the grandparent book. This book is dedicated to the different kinds of dads who have worked so hard to make life a little easier with their unconditional love and support. Especially my dad, love Todd. Here we go. Some daddies take pictures of you, and some daddies draw pictures of you. That doesn't even look like a sheep. A U is a female sheep. It's also a letter in the alphabet, and it's also you. Not me, but you. You can say it's you to me, but I can say it's you to you, but you can't say me to you, because then it doesn't make any sense. Some daddies wear suits, and some daddies wear 2 different socks. And if you're like me, you wear 2 different socks with your suits.
You would totally wear a suit like that.
Oh, I'd wear a suit like that for sure. Some daddies sing in the shower, and some daddies sing to you in bed. Especially if you sleep in the tub.
You've done both.
I've slept in the tub. I fell asleep in the tub when I was having... Hey, Brenda McDonald's here. Hello. It's been a long time since we've seen your name. All daddies like to try new things with you. I don't think I would like surfing. I'm not a great swimmer. I think that's part of my problem.
Yeah.
But I do think it's cool that they can do that. Some daddies work at home, and some daddies work far away.
That would be really far away. But that's true.
He's probably all spaced out. 2 sheeps are a W. That's awesome. That's very funny. Grown, but in a good way. Some daddies like to build sandcastles, and some daddies like to cover you with sand. In a playful way. Pardon me. Some daddies teach you how to walk, and some daddies teach you how to ride a skateboard. All daddies like to watch you sleep. I've watched the boys sleep.
It's one of the most peaceful times in in your day with your kids.
Sometimes it's just watching them sleep and knowing that they're protected. Not creepy like you wake up and I'm like, hey, what are you doing? You sleeping? Like that.
No, you save that for me.
Yeah, just wake up. Hey, Miss Christie, I'm hungry. What's going on? You want to wake up yet? Some daddies have lots of hair, and some daddies have a little bit of hair.
You got lots of hair.
I sneezed and my hair went. Some daddies play in your treehouse, and some daddies have tea parties with you. And some daddies have tea parties with you. And some wives don't know how to put hats back on. It's hard, hey? It's hard to put a hat back on somebody else. There we go. Thank you, Miss Christie. Some daddies make cookies, and some daddies stop for donuts. And this daddy makes cookies and then goes and stops for donuts. And some daddies do donuts in their car.
You're all of the above.
Some daddies love to kiss, and some to hug you. Oh, sorry. All daddies love to hug and kiss.
XOXO.
Oh, I thought it was my name. Backwards.
You're not an ox.
Sometimes. I thought you were calling me an ox when you wrote that note saying, have a good day, Tazzy. Love, Miss Christie, ox. Some daddies walk you to school, and some daddies walk you to the bus. Hopefully that bus goes to your school. Some daddies like to camp out with you and the dog, and some daddies like to take naps with you. I like naps. But I go camping if we had a dog. That's for sure. Ooh, we're blurry again. All daddies want you to be who you are. That's 100% it. Just be you. So 2 books about being you by accident. I haven't read this book before. I don't think. So that's awesome. 2 books about being who you are. Watch your toes, Miss Christie. I'm going to come in closer. It's important to be who you are, right? Because, and if you've got dreams, everybody has different dreams, right? I have dreams where sometimes I'm being chased by a snake that turns into some licorice and I have to eat it. And then the next time I talk, I'm like, so it was then that's a dream. Different dream? Everybody has dreams about what they want to be. I dreamt about being a comedian for a long time, and that's all I've ever wanted to be is a comedian. And I wanted to be a kindergarten teacher as well, too. So I guess it wasn't the only thing I ever wanted to be. Somebody wrote something on the timeline. Be yourself. Good evening, Taz. Always enjoy story time. It was a pleasure to meet you on Friday during Operation Snack Time. Hope you and your family enjoy your weekend. That's awesome. Friday. Operation Snack Time. What did I do Friday?
You made sandwiches.
Oh, Heather! That's who it is. Okay, sorry. Oh my gosh. Here's what goes on in my head. Because I have so many different thoughts that once I'm done a project, it just pops out of my head and it goes back. So Heather, thank you. It was good to meet you too. No, my gosh. Hey? The cat's reaching. So what you see is the cat going like this underneath the door going, hey, let me in. Wouldn't that be a dad joke? Oh, the W. I'm gonna take that. Two lady sheeps next to each other. It's called a W.
It's definitely a dad joke.
Oh, for sure, it's a dad joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bad joke as well. Silliness. Everybody be silliness. Okay, so your assignment for this weekend is because I'm not going to read tomorrow because tomorrow is tomorrow is Family Day. So if you would do me a favor, and tomorrow, if you could, take the time to reach out to somebody that you haven't heard from in a little bit. Reach out to somebody in Montreal just popped into my head. So reach out to somebody in Montreal or somebody else, somewhere else that you may know of somebody that you haven't talked to a little bit, and just that little text that says, "I'm thinking of you, and I wish I was closer, and I can't wait to see you again." Because you never know how a kind word or an unexpected hello or a little bit of love can go such a long way, right? And if anybody this whole week that's coming up is mean to you, I want you to be incredibly kind to them. Because you know what? Sometimes people that are mean need extra kindness and extra love. It's hard. It really is. Because you know, it's very easy to be kind to somebody that's being kind to you, isn't it? But when somebody's being rude to you and you're kind to them, two things happen. Sometimes it confuses them. They're like, why is this person being kind to me when I'm being mean to them? And maybe it'll make them think about what they're doing. And second, it makes you feel proud of yourself. And that's important. Being proud of yourself is the number one thing in the world that makes your heart feel better. Well, that and love. But, you know, self-love's pretty good too, isn't it? So, Mr. Justin, it was great to play bingo with you. I will talk to you all on Monday. Let me make sure. Hang on for a sec. I know I have a show. Let me see what's going on Monday. Nothing, because it's a holiday. It's holiday Monday. So I will be here Monday. And next week, I think we're going to start reading Zeus's books. We start Zeus, really. It rhymes with, that's how you say his name, really. Did you know that?
Yes, you've mentioned it a few times, Tazzy.
Because I think it makes me feel smart. So have yourself a great tomorrow. Please take the time to tell the people around you how much you love and appreciate them. And remember, it's okay to get mad, it's okay to be sad, and it's okay to be frustrated with the no puppy situation. But ABK. That's right. Always be kind, always be kind. I promise myself to try to always be kind. And I say try because sometimes your words work faster than your heart and you've hurt somebody's feelings. And if that happens, you just say sorry and hope they accept your apology and move forward. That's right. And don't beat yourself up about it. Because we're not perfect. In all that you say and all that you do, you never have to be perfect. You've just got to be you. So you be you, follow your dreams, and you can send me little messages that say what your dreams are, and then it'll make me feel good too, because I want to help you achieve your dreams. How's that? So you be you, Miss Christie be Miss Christie, and I will sing my little song. Now?
Yep.
Now I'll sing my song. I thought you were going to say something because you went like this. You went. Sometimes that means you're going to say something. Sometimes it also means that I've said something that I shouldn't. Or she goes like that. But I guess your eyes only get bigger if it's something. Like if you're going to say something, you're going like that. You're going to say something. But if I say something I'm not supposed to, you're like, like that. You say that a lot. Just like now. Good night, Facebook friends. Good night. Good night, all my friends. Good night. May your dreams be cheery and your dreams be bright. Good night, all my friends. Good night. Sleep tight, all my friends. Sleep tight. Sleep tight, little friends. Sleep tight. May your dreams be so cheery and silly till the morning light. Good night, all my friends. Good night. Lots of love from Miss Christie. And I'm going to read the last two. Thank you, Taz and Miss Christie. We love and appreciate you so much. And we love and appreciate you too, neighbor peoples. Good night. And Justin says, Taz, I hope you get a puppy. And I'm going to get a puppy. I'm 100% sure that I'm getting a puppy. That's what I think. We're going to get a pup. That's good for my back. That actually feels really good. Thank you, Miss Christie. Puppy, 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 puppy.
No puppy.
I can't hear you. Puppy, 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 puppy.
No puppy.
Do you have a sore throat? Because normally it's like this. It's no puppy, Tazzy. I heard maybe. I'm getting a puppy. I didn't say today. One day I'm getting a puppy.
No puppy.
One day.
No puppy. Yes.
One day.